Very good evening. Welcome to Chandan Likes English YouTube channel. This is Joshna. In this session, I am going to discuss set number 7. RRB Group D, General Science MCQs. Set number 7 today I am going to discuss. Already 6 sets has been completed. Okay, so each and every student listen the class from starting to ending. Okay, I will display the question. If you know the answer, mention it in the comment section. Okay, even if you need a PDF, it is available in Telegram link. You can download it. Okay, so let's start the session. Which of the following has dimensional formula? Okay, strain, angular acceleration, angular velocity, frequency. Okay, so what is the answer for this question, students? Actually here it is -2. Okay, here it is -2. Now try to tell the answer for this question, students. Okay, the session which I have already taught in the morning session, it is going to be repeated in this session. Why? Because in order English medium students also there. Okay, so what is the answer for this question? So in units and measurement, units, dimensions and measurement, so these type of questions are very important. So many times this type of questions were repeated. Okay, so what is this actually? They have given the strain, angular acceleration, angular velocity and frequency. At first you have to know the definitions of the given terms, and you have to know the units. Okay, so what is the definition of strain, students? Strain is nothing but change in dimensions to its original dimension. Okay, what do you mean by strain? Strain is nothing but what? Change in dimensions to its original dimension. The ratio of change in dimensions to its original dimension, we say it as what, students? Strain. So here the dimensions gets cancelled. So what will be the unit of strain? No units. Okay, and in the similar way, angular acceleration. Angular acceleration. What is the definition for angular acceleration? Angular acceleration is equal to the rate of change of angular velocity over time. Okay, and what are the units of angular acceleration, students? Radians per second square. What do you mean by angular acceleration? Rate of change of velocity by time. What are the units? Radians per second square. You all know radians have no dimensions. So what may be the dimensional formula for this acceleration due to gravity? M power 0, L power 0, T power -2. Why? Because the units of acceleration, the units of angular acceleration is radians per second square. Radians does not have dimensions, and 1 by s square is nothing but that is time period, T power -2. Okay, in the similar way, angular velocity. What is the definition of angular velocity? The rate of change of displacement over time. Rate of change of displacement over time is known as what, students? Angular velocity. And what are the units for this angular velocity? Radians per second. Okay, so what may be the dimensional formula? M power 0, L power 0, T power -1. And finally, frequency. You all know what is frequency. Number of oscillations per second is known as frequency, and frequency is always inversely proportional to time period. So what are the units of this frequency, students? M power 0, L power 0, T power -1. So what is the answer for this question? Option B. Okay, so these type of problems are very important, students. So okay, these questions may come either in RRB Group D or RRB JE, SSC, CGL. So these type of questions are very important. Okay, each and every student has to know how to find the dimensional formula. First of all, you have to know the given particular formula of that term, and the next you have to know the units so that you can solve any type of dimensional formula. Okay, next question. A ball of mass 0.5 kg is thrown vertically. So they are saying that a ball of mass, so a ball, it is having 0.5 kg, it is thrown upwards. So how much height, students? At 20 meters height. So what they are saying? Acceleration due to gravity. Acceleration due to gravity is 10 meters per second square, and the height of the ball thrown is 20 meters. So they are asking you from which velocity. Okay, at which velocity that ball has thrown upwards. So initially they are throwing the ball upwards, right? So they are asking you to find the initial velocity of that ball which is thrown at a height of 20 meters. So what may be the answer, students, in these type of problems? So at the bottom of the process, so what is that energy? Kinetic energy. Okay, when the ball is thrown upwards at the initial stage, what type of energy is that? That energy is kinetic energy. When the ball reaches at a 20 meters height, at the tip of the a ball, what that energy is? Potential energy. So what we can say here? Potential energy is kinetic energy for these type of problems. Okay, potential energy is equal to kinetic energy. Now, initially we do not know. They are asking you to find at what initial velocity they have thrown the ball upwards. We have to find at what initial velocity the ball has thrown upwards. So, by this we can get that u is equal to half under root 2gh. How we got this formula, students? We all know half mv square is the kinetic energy and mgh, it is the potential energy. By this you will get u is equal to under root 2gh. Now substitute the values in the given formula. 2 into 10 into 10t. So what you will get, students? 20 meters per second. So the ball is thrown at an initial velocity of 20 meters per second. Up to which height, students? Till 20 meters per second. Okay. So this is what the problem is. So next question. If two forces of 10 newtons and 5 newtons are applied on an object in the same direction, then what will be the total force acting on the body? So this question has come in RRB Group D 2018 shift 2. Okay. So answers, options are 50 newtons, 15 newtons, 25 newtons, 10 newtons. So what the problem is saying that, so there is an object, on that object two same direction forces are acting. So what are the magnitudes of that forces? 10 units and 5 units. So they are asking you to find the total force. So what may be the total forces? As the forces are acting in the same direction, as the forces are acting in the same direction and on the same object, so what may be the total force, students? Total force will be sum of the individual forces, F1 plus F2. Why I am saying it is sum is because they are hitting the object in the same direction. Okay. So if they have given you the different direction forces, you have to minus it, you have to subtract it. As they are giving the forces in the same direction, we have to sum it. So what is the answer? 10 plus 5, that is equal to 15 newtons is the answer for this question. Okay. Next question. When a ball of mass 5 kg is raised to a height of 5 meters from the ground, what is the energy gained by the ball? So they have given the mass, students. They have given the mass is equal to 5 kg and they have given the height, that is equal to 5 meters, and they are asking you to find what energy it is. So we all know when the mass is given and when the height is given and when the gravitation, acceleration due to gravity is given. So what energy is it, students? It is potential energy. So potential energy is nothing but mgh. So what is m here? 10 into 5 into 5. So what might be the answer? 250 joules. Okay. So what is this joule, students? Joule is the unit for energy, work done and heat. Okay. If they have asked you to find the initial velocity, what is the formula in that case? Kinetic energy is equal to potential energy. But they have given the mass and the height and the acceleration due to gravity, and they are asking you to find the energy. For these type of problems, you have to mention the formula. Potential energy is equal to mgh. Okay, what do you mean by potential energy, students? Okay, the energy possessed by virtue of its position is potential energy, and the energy possessed by virtue of its motion is kinetic energy. Okay. So what is the answer? 250 joules. And the next question. An infrasound microphone enables the remote detection of aircraft, wave vortices, clear air turbulence, tornadoes and seismic events at frequencies below. So, very good students, very good evening. Okay, so what is the answer? So, we all know that our human ear So it has the capacity of hearing only 20 hazards to 20,000 hazards. So beyond that or below that limit, our human ear cannot listen that range. Okay. So below 20 hazards, they are considered as infrasound. Above 20,000 hazards, they are considered as ultrasounds. Okay. Is there any animal which is like emitting infrasound? Yes, elephant, dolphins communicate each other by this infrasounds only. Okay, and even ultrasounds. What is the best example for ultrasound, students? Sonar, sound navigation and ranging. These devices use ultrasounds. For what purpose? For detecting, for knowing the distance and for knowing the directions underwater. In order to know the distance of the sea level and the direction of the fishes, or in order to detect the harmful hazards, so which are like under the ground. So which device is used, students? Sonar. Sonar, what is the full form of sonar? Sound navigation and ranging. Okay. Now even bats, so what type of sounds they will emit, students? They will emit ultrasounds. Okay, due to a property of echolocation, these bats, okay, if there is any obstacle in front of that bat can identify. How they can identify, students? So due to the change in the frequency, of their like sound, that bats can recognize, so there is an obstacle and they will change the direction. Okay, so what is the answer for this question, students? Infrasound. So leave all those things. It is given that it is infrasound. Infrasound microscope is nothing but the frequency of the infrasound should be always 20 hazards or below 20 hazards. Okay. Next question. So this is very, very important, students. Humans are like a frequency will be 20 hazards to 20,000 hazards. Infrasound means, okay, less than 20 hazards, it is infrasound. And ultrasounds means greater than 20,000 hazards, it is ultrasound. Okay, so what are the examples of infrasounds? Like elephants, okay, elephants and dolphins communicate. The dolphins communicate sound will be infrasound. Okay, ultrasound. What is the best example for ultrasound? Bats will emit this ultrasound. Okay, due to the emission of these ultrasounds only, so they can have the ability of recognizing the obstacles which is in front of them. Okay. Next question. What is the number of 176 ohm resistors in parallel required to pass 5 amperes on a 220 volt line? Option A 2, option B 4, option C 8, option D 16. Okay. So what they are asking you to find, students? They are asking you to find the number of resistors. They have given you the like a complete resistance, and we have to find the equivalent resistance. And what are the given values? Okay, they have given the current value. Current value I is equal to 5 amperes, voltage V is equal to 220 volts, and normal resistance is equal to, okay, total resistance. Okay, this is what total resistance is equal to 176 Newton. Now what we have to find? We have to find the equivalent resistance. How to find this equivalent resistance? We know the formula of Ohm's law, right? So V is equal to IR. From this Ohm's law equation, R will be, so V by I. Now what is R equivalent? R equivalent will be 220 by 5. So what is 220 by 5? 44 ohms. Now how to find the number of resistors, students? Okay, so number of resistors will be total resistance by equivalent resistance. Okay, what is like total resistance? Total resistance is 176 and equivalent resistance is 44. So how many number of resistors are there, students? 4. Okay. So you all know what is series connection and what is parallel connection. In series connection, what is the equivalent resistance? Equivalent resistance will be sum of all the individual resistance. Okay. And in parallel connection, equivalent resistance will be, okay, 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. Clear? Next question. General science, physics, chemistry, biology. Okay, complete course is available on our Chandan Likes app. If you need this course, it is like for 299 for 4 months validity, 499 for 8 months validity. Use JM10 coupon code, you will get huge discount. RRB Group D special batch complete course is also available on our Chandan Law Accept. SSC CGL special batch complete course is also available. Telangana SI Constable courses and Andhra Pradesh SI Constable courses are also available on our Chandan Law Accept. Telangana High Court has recently released 859 vacancies, right? Complete updated content course is also available on our Chandan Law Accept. Next question. Considering magnetic field lines, which of the following is not correct? So here are the 4 statements, students. We have to identify the incorrect statements in the 4 statements. First statement is the direction of the magnetic field at a point is considered to be the direction in which the north pole of the magnetic compass needle points. And the second statement is the relative strength of the magnetic field exists and it can be represented by the degree of closeness of the field lines. And the third statement is magnetic field lines are closely curves. Fourth statement is if the magnetic field lines are parallel and equidistant, they show zero field strength. Okay, so what this statement 1 is saying, students? The statement 1 is saying that, okay, you all know like a compass. Okay, what do you mean by magnetic compass? This magnetic compass will let us know the direction of anything. So how can we know the direction of anything, students? Why? Because this magnetic compass will point towards the north. Whenever we use the magnetic compass, it will always like point towards the north point. In that way, we can know the direction of anything. Okay, and second statement is what? The relative strength of the magnetic field. So how to identify the magnetic strength, students? For example, this is a current carrying conductor, right? So how the magnetic lines will be? The magnetic lines will be in a concentric way. So these are the magnetic lines which are closed curves. Okay, if these magnetic lines are closely crowded, so that we can say that there is high magnetic strength. If these magnetic lines are farther, we can say that there is less magnetic strength. Okay, so that is what in statement 2. So it is also correct statement. And statement 3, magnetic field lines are closed curves. So as we saw there, these magnetic lines are what? They are closed curves. So this statement also correct. So what this statement 4 is saying? If the magnetic field lines are parallel and equidistant, they show zero field strength. So listen, students. So magnetic field lines are there. If the magnetic field lines are present only, there will be magnetic strength. So they are saying that there are magnetic lines, but that magnetic lines are parallel and equidistant. If the magnetic lines are parallel and equidistant, so what type of magnetic strength will be developed there? Okay, uniform magnetic strength will be developed there. Okay, but they are saying that it is developing zero field strength. If there are magnetic field lines, how can you say that that is having zero field strength? So that is not the correct statement. Why? Because if there is magnetic field, whether they are closer or whether they are far away, so there may be some magnetic field existed. And that type of magnetic field is known as what? Uniform magnetic field. So when this zero field strength will be like generated, if there are no magnetic lines, so we can say in that case, so that there exists a zero field strength. Okay, so what statement is wrong, students? Fourth statement is wrong. So what is the answer for this question? 4 is the answer for this question. Clear? Next. The process of a liquid changing into vapor at any temperature below its boiling point is called evaporation, deposition, sublimation, fusion. So this is the question which has come in RRB Technician Grade 3. So what is the answer for this question? All of you mention your answers in the question, students. Okay, we all know what is sublimation process, what is evaporation process, what is condensation process, what is fusion process, what is deposition process. Okay, sublimation process means what, students? If the solid state directly converts to gaseous state, example naphthalene balls or dry ice. And what do you mean by fusion? Fusion state is nothing but melting. If the solid converts to liquid, we say it as fusion. What do you mean by deposition? If the gas converts into solid, example snow. And finally, what do you mean by evaporation? If the liquid converts to vapor, we call it as what, students? Evaporation or vaporization. So what may be the answer here? Evaporation. If the liquid converts to like vapor, we call it as evaporation, and the deposition is gas to solid. Deposition is gas to solid, and sublimation is solid to gas. Sublimation is solid to gas, and fusion means solid to liquid. So this is very, very important topic, students. Okay, for sure you are going to get one question from this topic. Okay, fusion means solid to liquid. That is nothing but melting of ice is a perfect example for this fusion. Okay, next question. Coconut water is technically pericarp, endosperm, scutellum, soft drink. Okay, what is this coconut water, students? Actually, coconut water has many benefits. It consists of vitamins, minerals, okay, so many things, fats, vitamins, minerals. So this gives a very good benefits to our health, right? So these type of coconut water, is it a soft drink or it is a like a pericarp or it is a endosperm? What type of water this coconut water is? Tell me, students. Okay, so what is the answer? Everybody mention your answer in this question. Yes, Rohit, Veena. Yeah, tell me the answer for this question. You all know what is coconut water, right? This coconut water is nothing but it is like producing in the coconut itself. How it is producing, students? By the division of nucleus. By the division of nuclei which is present in the like a coconut, this liquid endosperm is generating. Okay. So what is the answer for this question? Endosperm. Coconut has two states of endosperm. So one is liquid endosperm. One is liquid endosperm and other is solid endosperm. Liquid endosperm is nothing but coconut water and solid endosperm is nothing but coconut meat. That is nothing but coconut consists of white color like coconut, right? So that is known as coconut meat. Liquid endosperm is like liquid endosperm, coconut water, and a solid endosperm is coconut meat which is light in color. Due to the deposition of the liquid endosperm inside the coconut, this coconut meat will be formed. Okay, remember, very, very important. And it is not a soft drink. Why? Because soft drink consists of carbonic acid. What do you mean by carbonic acid, students? Nothing but carbon dioxide is dissolved in the water. If the carbon dioxide is dissolved in the water, we tell is that what? Carbonic acid. Okay. Chelti, Rohit. Okay, maths class also Chelti. Next question. Which one of the following completes the given statement correctly? A seed is the ripened ovary, flower, gymnasium, ovule. Now tell me what is the answer for this question. Very good, very good. Basha, baby, very, very good evening. Shrikant, Rohit, Meena. I think you are new to our class. Done. So tell me the answer for this question. A seed is a ripened. Okay, what do you mean by gymnasium, students? Gymnasium is nothing but it is a female like reproductive organ of the flower. So these consist of three parts. So what are those three parts? Okay, style, stigma, ovary. Style, stigma, ovary. Ovary consists of ovule, right? Ovary consists of ovule. In this ovule, what is present, student? Seed is present and fruit is present in ovary. Just remember this, enough. Okay, so what is the answer for this question? Seed is ripened in ovule. And what is present in the ovary, students? Fruit is present in the ovule, the mature ovule. Okay, the fruit is present in the ovary. Okay, which protects the seed. Okay, the fruit is present in the ovary which protects the seed. Remember, very, very important. You all know fruit consists of seeds inside it. So by this we can say that ovule is having the seed and ovary is having the fruit. Okay, and that seed is protected by the ovary. Very, very important. Okay, next question. which one of the following represents the correct sequence of reflex action? So reflex action, what do you mean by reflex action? Nothing but, so there is like a burning sensation. So I am putting my finger in a like a, fire, sorry. Okay, I am putting my finger in fire. So what happens? Automatically I will pick my hand backwards. So what may be the reason, students? Why? Because that type of reactions are known as reflex action. So what is giving signals to our hand to pick backside? So that is what the question is. So try to tell the answer, students. Yeah, Devamani, actually this is complete English YouTube channel. I have to speak in English channel only, okay? So this class has already taught in like a Chandan likes main channel in Telugu. You can go and watch there. What is the answer for this question? Okay? So I have already explained you what do you mean by reflex action, student. Reflex action is nothing but, okay, if there is a fire, if I keep my hand there, so automatically I will pick my hand backwards. So what signals are given to my hand to pick my hand backwards? So that is what the question is. Okay, so nothing but how the stages are going to be means receptor. The receptor is the one which can sense the hotness. The receptor is the one which can sense the hotness. Receptor is the one which senses the hotness. So sensory nerve. This sensory nerve will, okay, this sensory nerve will carries the signals from the receptor to the central nervous system. Okay, very, very important. What is the function of this sensory nerve? This sensory nerve will carry the signal from the receptor and will send it to the central nervous system. And finally, spinal cord. What does this spinal cord will do, students? This spinal cord will process the signal which has come from sensory nerve. And finally, this processed signal is sent into the motor nerve. This motor nerve will send that like signal to the target organ, and that organ will respond to that reflex action. Okay, very, very important concept. Listen again and again, you will easily understand what I am saying. Why I am picking my hand backwards when there is fire in front of me? Why? Because that action is known as reflex action. Why? Because some types of signals are passing from receptor to muscle. So much is happening in between the receptor and muscle. So what are the functions happening? The receptor can sense the heatness, and this is sending signal to the sensory nerve, and this sensory nerve, it is sending the signals to the central nervous system, and from central nervous system it is going to the spinal cord. Spinal cord is processing the signal and it is sending to the motor nerve. Motor nerve is carrying the signal and it is sending to the target organ, and that target organ is responding by taking the help of muscles. Okay. Next. So what is the answer, student? Option D. Consider the following statements. Assertion: Cuscuta amarbel is an example of parasitic angiosperm. Reason: it gets its nutrition from the host plant. Okay, here are the two statements, students. Do you know that even plants depend on others for food? Yeah, there are some types of plants which depend on others for food. So what type of plant is that? Cuscuta. Why? Because this cuscuta does not have leaves and chlorophyll. If the plant consists of chlorophyll only, it can perform photosynthesis and it can prepare its own food, right? But this cuscuta, as it is not having leaves and chlorophyll, so it cannot prepare its own food. So how it is preparing how it is having its food means it is depending on its host plant. So these cuscuta plant have a special organ which is known as what, students? Haustoria. So what this haustoria is doing? This haustoria, it is entering into the host plant. It is entering into the host plant xylem and phloem, and it is taking the oxygen, food and nutrients from the host plant, and it is having its lunch. Okay. So what is the answer for this question, students? Cuscuta is an example for parasitic angiosperm. Angiosperm is nothing but it is a flowering plant. It is a flowering plant, but it does not have leaves and chlorophyll. That means it cannot prepare its own food. For that purpose only it is depending on others for food. So what is the answer, students? Both A and R are true and R is the correct explanation of A. Clear? Next question. 0 to Hero complete course is available on a Chandan Law except. Railway exam complete course is also available on a Chandan Law except. SSC exams complete course is also available on a Chandan Law except. APPSC, TGPSC, SI constable courses are also available on a Chandan Law except. In torches, searchlights and headlights of vehicles, the bulb is placed between the pole and the focus of the reflector, very near to the focus of the reflector, between the focus and the center of curvature of the reflector, at the center of the curvature of the reflector. So, do you know, students, why the light from the torchlight will be straight or why the light from the headlights will be straight? Why? Because, okay, why? Because the bulb which is giving the light, it is placed very near to the focus point, and the mirror which are using in those things is concave mirror. Okay, did you understand what I am saying? Why the light in the torchlight or why the light in the headlights, they are straight in line? Why? Because the bulb which is emitting light rays in those instruments, okay, it is placed very near to the focal length of the concave mirror. For that purpose only, the torchlight, the headlight and the searchlights, they are giving the light in a very straight manner. Okay, so what is the answer for this question, students? Very good, option B. As the bulb is placed, as the reflector is placed very near to the focus point, the light in the torchlight and the headlight and the searchlight, they are straight in line. Okay, very, very important. Next question. A mountain climber finds that water boils at 80 degrees centigrade. The temperature of this boiling water is. If you want to solve this type of problem, you must know the relationship between Celsius and Fahrenheit. So, what is the relationship between Celsius, Fahrenheit at Kelvin, students? C by 100 is equal to F minus 32 by 180, and that is equal to K minus 273 by 100. From these relation, what we have to find, students? We have to find it is actually 80 degrees centigrade. We have to convert that 80 degrees centigrade into Fahrenheit. So, what we have to take? Just we have to take the first two equations. C by 100 is equal to F minus 32 by 80. They have already given you the Celsius value. 80 by 100 into 180 plus 32 is equal to Fahrenheit value. So, what may be the answer, students? 18 za, okay, 144. 18 za, yes, okay, it is 144 plus 32. So, what might be the answer? F is equal to, okay, 176. So, option C is the correct answer for this question. And these type of like models are very, very important. For sure, you must remember the relationship between Celsius, Fahrenheit and Kelvin. Okay. Next question. Pick up the correct relationship. Gravitational constant G is equal to Fd square by m into m. Universal constant is equal to Gm by r square. So, in the given 4 statements, so what are the correct relationship? Try to tell the answer. So, what do you mean by actually gravitational force? We all know very well. We all know the formula for gravitational force and we all know the formula for acceleration due to gravity. Okay. So, compare those two with the given formula, students, so that you can easily answer to this question. So, we all know gravitational force is equal to, okay, universal gravitational constant into capital M small m by d square. Okay, from this capital G is equal to Fd square by capital M small m. So, this is correct. And finally, we all know that acceleration due to gravity is equal to capital G m by r square. But in this, they have given in opposite way. Actually, if it is small g and if it is capital G, it is correct. But they have given the wrong position. So, that statement is wrong. So, this is also wrong. Why? Because universal gas constant. So, gravitational constant. What is the gravitational constant? 6.674 into 10 power minus 11 Newton meter square per second square. But small g, acceleration due to gravity is 10 meters per second square. So this is not. So what is the answer, students? Only A is the correct option in this question. Okay. Very, very good evening. Next question. Assertion. Herbicides can destroy weeds without harming useful plants. Reason. Herbicides are absorbed in different rates by weeds and crop plants. So they are saying that you all know weed plants, right? So weed plants are the plants which are extra wastage present around the like healthy plants. So in order to remove this or in order to destroy these weed plants, so what the farmers will do, students, they will spray the herbicides. So these herbicides, they will only destroy the weed plants and they will not harm anything to the like a healthy crop plants. Okay, so that is what they are saying in the assertion and reason, and those are true. Okay, herbicides, they will only destroy the weed plants but not the crop plants. So they will set a limit which can destroy only the weed plants but not the crop plants. So what is the answer for this question, students? Both A and R are true and R is the correct explanation for A. Clear? Next question. Which of the following is a connective tissue? Muscle, columnar epithelium, blood, cuboidal epithelium. So in our body there is a connective tissue. That means that tissue, it is passing to each and every point of our body. Okay, so what it may be, students? It is nothing but it is blood. Why? Because in each and every part of our body, so there is a similar thing or there is a constant thing, that is nothing but blood. For this purpose, we call blood as a what? Connective tissue. And what is this muscle, students? This muscle, so there will be many muscles, like a muscle will be in the hand, a muscle will be in the like a head. So those are the place where it will be there only. It will not connect another muscles. Okay, but blood is only the connective tissue which touches all the parts of our body. And finally, columnar epithelium. What is this columnar epithelium? Columnar epithelium is a protective lining. It is a protective lining which protects, okay, which protects what? Our stomach. It is a protective lining which lines our stomach as well as uterus. So due to the very high acidic like gastric juices, so that stomach may be damaged or it may be like a tear off. So in order to protect that stomach, this columnar epithelium is lined as a protective lining. In the similar way, this cuboidal epithelium, it is lining the kidneys during excretion process, and squamous epithelium, this type of epithelium lines the esophagus. Why? Because sometimes we will consume the food which is very, very hot. So there is a chance of like a breakage of the esophagus, right? In order not to breakage of like esophagus, there is a protective lining that is known as squamous epithelium. Okay. Next. Plant roots always grow downwards while shoots generally grow upward, away from the ground. The upward and downward growth of stems and roots is called. What is the answer for this question? Okay, so they are saying that why the roots grow downwards, why the stems grow upwards. Why? Because so they are reacting to the gravity. As they are reacting to the gravity, so there will be effect on those things. Okay, the roots will be pulled downwards and the stems are pushed upwards. Okay, so what it is reacting to the gravity, and that phenomena is known as what? Geotropism. If the plants react to chemicals, that phenomena is known as chemotropism. If the plants react to water, that phenomena is known as hydrotropism. If the plants react to light, that phenomena is known as phototropic movement. Clear? Yes. Next question. Which of the following is classified as a micronutrients? So in nutrients we have two types of nutrients like macronutrients, micronutrients. Macronutrients are nothing but which are essential for us in larger quantities. The nutrients which are essential for us in larger quantities, we call them as macronutrients, and the nutrients which we need in a lesser quantity, we call them as micronutrients. So in the given option, carbohydrates, proteins and fats, those are macronutrients. Why? Because those carbohydrates and fats and proteins, we have to take them in larger quantities. Why? Because carbohydrates will give us energy, proteins will help us for body development or building purpose and for secreting hormones, and these fats, they will help us for giving energy and also absorbing fat soluble vitamins. Okay, but these minerals, we need the minerals in a lesser quantity, and we call them as what? Micronutrients. In general, we have how many types of nutrients? 13 nutrients, water soluble vitamins and fat soluble vitamins. Water soluble vitamins are B and C, and fat soluble vitamins are A, D, E, K. So, we have discussed many times regarding these vitamins, right? Okay. Next question. Which of the following options related to adrenaline hormone are correct? The heart beats faster, the respiration rate increases, the blood pressure decreases. So, what is this adrenaline? Adrenaline hormone is the one which is secreted by adrenal gland. Okay, adrenaline hormone is the one which is secreted by the adrenal gland. Now, tell me where this adrenal gland is located. In which part of our body adrenal gland is located? So, mention in the comment section, students. And this adrenal gland will release the adrenaline hormone, which is also known as fight and flight hormone. Okay, when the sudden actions or sudden reaction happens, this type of hormone will be released. So, what are those? When the heartbeat, if this hormone is secreted, so what things happen in our body, students? Our heart beats faster, our respiration rate decreases, but not the blood pressure decreases. So, what is the answer? Only 1 and 2. The blood pressure is controlled by medulla oblongata. Blood pressure is controlled by medulla oblongata, but not the adrenaline hormone. Okay. Next. Adrenaline gland is present where? Tell me, students. Next question. SSC GD special batch complete course is available on a Chandan Likes app. RRB NTPC special batch complete course is also available on a Chandan Likes app. Bank exam complete course is also available. Bank SSC RRB combo course is also available on a Chandan Likes app. Next question. Which unique property of Plasmodium makes malaria a cyclical disease with periodic fever? Continuous entry through mosquito bites, continuous reinfection from the environment, infection of only liver cell, RBC invasion and release of offsprings every few days. Now, what is the answer for this question? Each and every students who are in the live session, tell me where the adrenal gland is located and what is this actually? Malaria. How the malaria is caused due to the bite of a female Anopheles mosquito. The plasmodium which is present in the mosquito, it will be entered into our liver cells. In the liver cells, those will be multiplied, and those multiplied cells will be entered into our RBCs. And what happens in the RBC, students? Those cells will be again multiplied, and at some point they will be burst. When these cells are burst, so what is the toxic substances which is emitting from that? Okay, hemosine. This hemosine is very toxic substance. Okay, and a person who is infected with this malaria, if a malaria again bites that person, so those plasmodium will again enter into that, sporozoites will enter into that mosquito, and reproduction starts again. Okay, so actually it is a cyclic process. What is happening there? RBC invasion and release of offsprings every few days. So the cells are dividing, multiplying in this RBCs every few days. Okay. Next. So if you need a class in Telugu medium, Maheshwari, already I have taught the Telugu medium session in the Chandan Likes main channel. The same session you can go and watch there. Okay. Next question. Which bacterial disease is specifically treated using the serum method? Typhoid, pneumonia, diphtheria, plague. If a person is affected with typhoid, so what type of test is performed? Viral test. So eliminate that option. Pneumonia. If a person is suffering from pneumonia, what type of tests are performed? PFT, pulmonary functioning test. So that is also not. Diphtheria. So diphtheria is the disease which is caused by a type of bacteria which is known as Corynebacterium diphtheria. Corynebacterium diphtheria. Okay, so what happens, students? These Corynebacterium diphtheria, it will release a exotoxin, and this exotoxin will be neutralized by what? Antitoxin. Antitoxin. Where do we get this antitoxin from? This antitoxin we will get it from horse serum, and this method is known as what, students? Serum method. Okay, so who has found up this method? Emily One. He has even got Nobel Prize in 1901 for the discovery of this serum method. So what is the answer for this question, students? Diphtheria. Very, very important. And the next question. Which of the following direct changes indicate that a chemical reaction has occurred? Okay, so during a chemical reaction, if two elements has reacted, so what are the possibilities that will occur, students? So there may be a release of a gas, or there may be a formation of the precipitation, or whether there may be a change in physical state, or there may be a change in color. So these are all the things which are going to be happen when chemical reaction takes place. So what might be the answer, students? All A, B, C and D. Clear? Yes. Next question. Dash is added to a beaker containing a small amount of copper oxide when compound is formed. So what they are saying, students? Copper oxide, it is black in color. Copper oxide, it is black in color. When it is mixed up with like hydrochloric acid, what we are getting, students? We are getting copper chloride, that is blue greenish color. Copper chloride plus H2 gas. So what is the answer, students? Copper chloride, CuCl2. Clear? Very good, very good. Next question. What was the blank space for an unknown element under aluminium called? Proto-aluminium, neo-aluminium, eka-aluminium, meta-aluminium. You all know who is Mendeleev, right? This Mendeleev has designed a periodic table in 1869, but there are many drawbacks. So what are his drawbacks? He does not know inert gases and where to place them, and even he has just classified only 63 different types of elements, but he does not know some elements where to place, so he has left that place empty. Okay, in the same way, aluminium, the aluminium above place is left empty. Why? Because he does not know what to name that element. So in that manner, he has named that empty spaced element as eka aluminium. And finally, what this eka aluminium is known as gallium, eka boron scandium, eka silicon germanium. Okay, the spaces which are filled above the elements are, he has named them as eka, and finally some other scientist has named them eka aluminium as gallium, eka boron as scandium, eka silicon as germanium. Okay, very good. The end. General science complete courses are available on Chandan Loix app. Okay, if you use JM10 code, you can get the course for huge discount. RRB Group D special batch complete course is also available on Chandan Loix app. SSC CGL complete course is also available. Telangana SI Constable courses and Andhra Pradesh SI Constable courses are also available on Chandan Loix app. If you use JM10 coupon code, you can get huge discount. Telangana High Court has recently released 859 vacancies. Complete updated content course is also available on a Chandan Loix app. 0 to hero courses. People who needs to solve problems within a short period of time in arithmetic, reasoning and advanced math, this is the best course. Railway exam complete courses are also available on a Chandan Loix app. If you utilize JM10 coupon code, you will get huge discount. SSC exam complete courses are also available. APPSC, TGPSC, SI Constable special math course is also available. SSC GD special batch complete course is also available. RRB NTPC complete course is also available on our Chandan Loix app. Bank exam complete course is also available. Bank SSC RRB combo course is also available on our Chandan Loix app. APPSC TGPSC group 2 courses are also available. APPSC TGPSC math special batch complete course is also available. UPSC SCSAT complete course is also available. Each and every course, okay, you are having classes both in English as well as Telugu languages. Unlimited access will be there. Number of times you can attempt mock test. Okay, that's all for today. Let's meet in the tomorrow morning Chandan Loix main YouTube channel. If you need the PDF, you can download it from Telegram. Join in the Telegram if you has not yet joined. and even subscribe to Chandan Likes Telugu, English and main channel. Whenever there is a live session, you will get a notification. Okay students, bye, take care.